Hello, everyone. I have straight up on the hour, so we're going to get started with this session. My name is Rose Cliff Olson, and I am the door group trainer. And along with me, I have Pat Wright. He'll introduce himself here in just a few seconds. I wanted to let everyone know that this session is being recorded. You also have a chat feature, which Pat will be manning. So if you have a question, please feel free to type in your question to Pat. I always say that I don't need to know everything. I just need to know who and where to get the information. So if we cannot answer your question, we will get the information from the factory or from another resource. And with this session, I will have all of your email address, so we will be able to respond via email to your question if we can't answer it here. Also, with this being recorded, with the session being recorded, you will get an email from me tomorrow stating that you did attend this session, and it will also have information on where to go to view this session again if you would like. So with that said, I'm going to let Pat introduce himself, and then we will get started.
Good afternoon. This is Pat Wright, Door Group Business Development Manager for the Southeast region. Normally, I would be doing this face-to-face, and much enjoy spending time with each one of you guys out and gals out there. But with the changes, we had to make some changes ourselves. So with this presentation, it's designed to kind of take you through the Curries product real quickly, and we can't do a whole lot with an hour, but just know that a lot of the things that we're showing here are available much deeper. We can do a deep dive into several different product categories. So just reach out to your DSS sales representative, let them know what you're interested in, and they'll be sure to get in touch with myself or Rose, and we'll work on putting something together for you. So again, thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Great. Thank you so much, Pat. And like I said, Pat will be manning the chat line, so just please ask any questions that you may have. So with that, we'll start with just showing you our overall of our service centers that we have available. They have a variety of different capabilities, each one of them. We do have a few of them, like the Dallas, Texas, the Garland, Texas location, our Georgia location, and the Eastern PA that have what we call bending or frame cells. These cells will actually, we bring this sheet in, the steel in flat sheets, and then we can actually form up a frame. So if you needed a special jamb depth or a special type of hardware prep, we have the capabilities of doing that. If you haven't had a chance to look at our Curries website, please take a few minutes to go there. There's a lot of good information on the Curries website, right on their homepage. One is they talk about the Built app. This is an app for installation. As I said, it's made easy. The great thing with this app is that it lays out, say you were looking at how to install a masonry frame, it will lay out all of the tools that are needed. It will take you step by step on how to install that frame. We also have it for hardware, so please take advantage of that. It is a free app, it's just downloadable, that you can also let your installer or your customer know about. We also have the Dave's Opening blog. A lot of good information listed on this, on the blog. What we do is we take a topic every couple months, and our engineers, our tech people do a deep dive into that item or into that product or whatever you're looking at, a topic rather, and they will post that on the blog. You can go to the blog and actually sign up to receive notifications when we post something new. We have archived all of our sessions also. So if you were looking for something regarding thermal bow, you could go in and type in a search for a thermal bow, and it will bring up all of the articles that we've posted regarding thermal bow. So please take advantage of that. A lot of good information there. Also, if you have a topic or an item you would like for us to do a deep dive in, please send that in to us, and our engineers and tech guys will take a look at that. Also, the other item is our Assablo Academy. We have hundreds of different sessions available there. The majority of them are free. We have a lot of hardware, hollow metal, sessions that are listed there. So please take advantage of our academy, especially now that we're all shelter in place. It's a lot of good information listed there and a lot of good sessions. So with that said, we'll jump right into Curries steel frames. With the gauges of the masonry and the drywall frames, you see it listed there from 18 all the way up to 12 gauge for masonry frames and up to 14 gauge for our drywall frames. The various type of steel types we have is your cold roll, of course, for interior, primarily for interior application, your A60 and your G90 steel. Curries has a variety of different jamb depths. We go from like 3.5, 3 inch all the way up to Curries can manufacture frame 26-inch jamb depth. We go in 1/8 inch increments. If you ever have a chance, or if you look at our price book, you will see in the price book it lists the frame depths up to 14 inch. You can price up to 14 right out of the price book, but you will need to contact your DSS or the factory to get larger jamb depths priced up. But those are available for Curries all the way up to 26-inch jamb depth. They offer KD welded products. Fire rating, we list UL and Warnock. We have up to 3 hours, of course, for your masonry frame, and 1.5 hours up to your drywall frames. A variety of different anchors depending on the wall conditions. We offer pre-finished, both in KD and welded material. This is a look at some of the masonry types of details we have, or profiles. You'll see to the right some additional options that are available, where we talked about some of the non-standard frame sizes, i.e. all the way up to 26-inch jamb depth. But we also have it in 12 gauge. You have the various fire ratings, single and double rabbet. And we'll walk through all of the frame products and their series so that you're more familiar with the different types of frames that are out there. So we start off with the M series frame, which is their masonry type frame. It is offered in unequal or equal rabbeted material, gold cold rolled or galvanized steel. You'll see it from 16 to 14 gauge, the various jamb depths available. The anchors, if you look in the price book, it will list out the masonry frame, their M frame, and then it will give you a list of the loose anchors that are included in the base price of your frame. Any frames that you order that are have welded in anchors, you do want to make sure you pick up the charge for the weld in of the anchors. The MK, the G frame, the Curries MK, you'll see that the top right is going to be their masonry frame cased opening. That's available from 14 all the way down to 18 gauge in the steel. And you'll notice the jamb depths. One thing you want to be aware of, and this is industry standard, 5 3/4 jamb depth will have a 7/16 return, which provides you with the 4 7/8 throat opening. Everything else is going to be 1/2 inch returns on those frames. The G frame is your single rabbet frame. Some architects like this frame design because it has a sleeker look. You know, it has one rabbet on it. The other thing with a single rabbet as far as the manufacturing of this frame is that when you get below 4-inch jamb depth, the factories cannot form up a frame that has 2 rabbets on it. So we have to make that frame as a single rabbeted frame. All of these frames, whether it's the M frame, the MK, or the G, these can be offered with 2-inch face, which is your standard face dimension, and we have a variety of different other face dimensions that you can order. The 2-inch is going to be your standard, which you will see in inventory at the service centers. Anything other than that, other than a 4-inch on the masonry frame, will have to be a factory order. The double egress frame is the series is the DEM frame for Curries. This is going to be, sometimes you'll hear it called a barrier type of frame. You'll see these in long corridors. It helps with the flow of traffic. Also with long corridors, helping reduce with, if there's a fire, spread of fire down a long corridor, the barrier types of openings will help slow that process down. The step down type of profiles that you see to the right there is industry standard. With your head, the way we have to make that is we lay the material out in the flat steel, form up the header, Then we have to cut it in half and flip the header and re-weld it in order to give the application that you see there with the flow of traffic. These frames are available in 14 and 16 gauge. As we walk through these frames also, please note that not all frames are available in all the various jamb depths, so you want to be aware of that also. The various types of frame anchors that we have available. If you look at the top part of this page here, you'll see a standard foot clip. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a base anchor. These are standard with the masonry frames. The only way you will not receive your frames with a base anchor or foot clip is if you specify that on your order. All masonry frames come with that to help with stabilizing that frame at the bottom. With the masonry frames, these are types of frames that will be carrying a lot of weight as far as different types of doors. So we have that additional floor anchor or floor clip at the bottom for stability. You'll see the various other types of anchors. Your wire anchors is your new construction. Those and your T-anchor are going to be your most standard ones for the masonry type frames. Then of course we have the multi-purpose type of anchor, which allows you to use this for different types of stud applications and existing opening. If you have a wall, whether it's block or brick that's already up, or if the project is going fairly fast, fairly quickly, and then they're bringing in the frames behind that, you want to make sure that you're providing that frame with an existing wall anchor. We punch and dimple that frame and provide those types of anchors in order to bolt that frame basically into that wall. You'll also see across from the existing wall anchor, we have another one, which is your existing opening anchor also. So we have a couple different types for existing block or brick walls. Moving into your drywall frames, we have the C frame. This frame is basically for interior application. The design of this frame is not to be welded as our masonry frames. With this, it is available 14 down to 18 gauge, cold rolled and galvanized. You will note that the jamb depth on this goes only up to 14-inch for your drywall frames. With that, you'll see the design at the bottom. We have a plum anchor. Some people call it compression anchor. That is on both sides on the hinge and the lock side of the frame at the top, just below the top hinge jamb. And as you tighten that compression anchor, it tightens against your stud. At the bottom of your frame, you will see we have a countersunk hold, and that is attached to the wall at the bottom of the frame. This is the standard anchoring system for your interior drywall C-frames. We do have an option that if you do not want a countersunk hole, so if you have a area where you have quite a few of these frames side by side, like office settings, things like that, the architect may not want to see the screw head on the bottom of the frame. You can opt and do a base anchor at the bottom of the frame and eliminate the countersunk hole. But if you order just a standard drywall frame, this is the type of anchoring system you will get. And along with that said, you will note with this anchoring system, you want to be aware of the different types of doors that you are providing with this frame. And as I said, we have an additional base anchor, which is listed here, and opting out from the countersunk hole at the bottom. So with this application, you have the L brackets there that is nailed to the studs, and then you bring your baseboard up behind the frame. Continue on with some drywall frames. A drywall type profile of frame is the CG, the CK, and the CM. You'll see the CK is your cased opening or trimmed opening type of frame. You may have it. You may have someone call it a trimmed opening. You go from room to room. You don't need a door hanging in an opening, so you want to just trim out the opening. You also have your CG to the top left there, which is going to be your single rabbeted frame. And then at the bottom, we just show you a little bit of information about these. Now, with these frames, the one thing you'll see, it shows a foot clip. And I had just said that on our masonry frames, they're the only types of frames you're going to get foot clips on. These types of frames we classify as drywall because they have that additional back bend in them. But you can also use those for a masonry application where you set the frame, you bring your drywall in behind. We have custom frames available. With that, any kind of design, sizes, jam depth that you may have, send all of that information in so that we can determine if we can in fact make that. The Currys has a variety. They've made a numerous amount of different profiles. As an example, they've done over 400 different profile types to date. So on the custom frames, you'll see the gauges that are available. We can have them in the steel of cold rolled or galvanized or galvanized. We can fire rate these custom frames, but please be aware on custom frames, depending on the width, the height, the jam depth, some of these items we may not have tested for it. So if that's the case, and if your customer wants some sort of label on this opening, we can provide a label construction. And basically that's a label that tells you that this frame, if it could be fire rated, we make it as if it could be fire rated, but because of either the jam depth, the width, or the height of this product, we have not tested for it to be able to put an actual fire rated label on this opening. You'll see that a lot listed in specifications. Bar lights, we can do different types of transom side lights. We can do arched and curved frames. Again, we need all of the information about these products in order to give you an accurate price and lead time. The other item that we have is our bituminous back coating. This application is where if you've got a frame that is going to be grouted and you want to help slow the rust process from the inside out of that frame, you can do a back coating that is supplied from the factory. It can be done in the field. It can be done in the shop. And the reason we bring this up now is because years ago, this type of back coating was not provided by either the distributor or the manufacturer, because this product was so toxic that no one wanted to handle it. So it was always excluded, and it was said to be done, you have to do it in the field. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, the industry came out with a water-based, environmentally friendly type of product. Again, this can be done on welded frames, KD frames, side lights, bar lights, three-sided frames. You can do it in your shop. We can do it from the factory. But this is something, another added benefit that you can give your customer as helping with the life of that frame. Here I was talking about all the different types of custom profiles. To date, Currys can do, they've done over 400 different types. And this just gives you a snapshot of all of the, what I call the weird and wonderful different types of profiles and back bends that can be provided to you. Again, if you go through this and you're looking at something, you look in our tech data, you cannot find that type of profile, don't automatically assume that we cannot do it. Send it in to us. Let us take a look at it. Let us take a look at our tooling, what we can do, and we can provide you if we can do that or not. The fire resistive type of frame, you'll hear it as an E119. The one thing I just want to stress to you is that this is a very expensive frame. It is considered part of the wall. Basically, with the test standards that you see at the very bottom of the screen here, any of these test standards, if they're listed, please get in touch with your local DSS or your business development person, because this is a product that you do not want to miss. Basically, this is a temperature rise opening or wall system that the hollow metal manufacturers can now provide. And architects love this thing, and they're specifying it. So with that, with the fire resistive, you can either have this frame as I saw on the previous slide that looks like you have mullions, or you can do of a wall of glass. We have also, we have now these types of frames with a level 3 bullet resistant properties in this that is available. And here are some of your common applications for this E119. The beauty of this also is that you don't need to be an expert in this E119 product. Let us do all of the legwork for you. We will price this up for you, the framing, the glass for you, the glazing for you. We will also do submittal packages for you on this product. This is one product, though, that we will not start the manufacturing process until we get an approved shop drawings back from you.
Rose?
Yes.
I want to make mention, Rose has spent very little time talking about the E119. We have a full-blown presentation on this particular product series. And I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that when you get into something like this, or you see anything where you've got a big glass wall that's fire rated, alarms need to come off, because that's actually being, it's in the International Building Code, and the authority having jurisdiction may require this particular product. So as you're starting to see this, raise your hand, let us know how we can help you. And if you have further interest, let us know, and we'll set up a special session for you to present this product and kind of get everything up to speed with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. And he is correct. The other thing I want to piggyback on this is that with this product, it is not necessarily, you will not necessarily find it in the 8100 or 8100 spec section in your specification. We have had customers that have said that they've seen it only listed in the preamble. So again, I always just caution that if you are looking at the architectural floor plans and you see this wall and all this glass on it, or you look at the door schedule and you see this frame that says it's 90-minute or 3-hour, and you think, I can't do that in standard hollow metal material, more than likely they're asking for this E119. And so don't always rely that it's just going to be in one part of the spec. We've seen it all over the board. So just be aware of that. Steel doors we'll jump into. We have what we classify 2 different types of doors. We have our composite one-piece core doors, and then we also have our steel stiffened doors. And we will walk through all of the various series, applications, and benefits of all of these products. So to start off with Curries door, I think the biggest selling feature and the one thing that is the biggest draw for the Curries door is that they have a full height perimeter channel, and you'll see the detail there. It's on both the hinge and the lock side. And this the way they make their doors is different than anyone else in the industry. So your hinge prep is actually embossed into that channel. And every door has it on both the hinge and the lock side. With that said, the way Curries lists their doors, they'll list all their cores, and then they give it a series. So if you have the 707, then you want to let us know the core that you're needing, with styrene, urethane, honeycomb core. So the series stays the same as we show there, 707, and then you let us know the core that you're needing. So the first one which is the most common, is going to be your polystyrene insulated core. The beauty with this core is that if you're talking to your customer, you don't need to know with using the polystyrene core if it's using exterior or interior application, because it is an insulated door. A majority of almost all of our service centers, a big chunk of their inventory, you will see with the polystyrene insulated core door. You'll see the various gauges that are available. And as we walk through the different cores, keep in mind that not all of these cores that you can get in all of the gauges and all of the width and height. So for instance, on your styrene core, you'll see the gauges that are available, the core, the steel that is available, and then the available sizes. Also note the STC ratings as we walk through the various doors. This door is an STC 24, which is right off the shelf. The one thing you look at also on here, you see the R factor, and it says calculated and operable. And I want to just take a second and talk about those two factors there. You have the calculated core. Basically, that means that they took a piece of this core, they did their calculation on, and they said, okay, this is what the performance will be. If it's operable, and if you see a spec that calls for the ASTM C1363, that tells you that they want that door to be hung in that opening and operate and still have the different thermal R factors available, or the STC. And the STC, you will see also standards that say operable and calculated. And I bring this up because not every manufacturer out there can offer you all of the different products that we do that are operable. Some will only say calculated. So just be aware of that as you're looking at the specifications. Also with the fire rating, we have up to 3 hour available on the polystyrene core. Your benefits to the polystyrene core, you'll see a competitive price and insulated, of course, as we talked about, resistant to impact. And then also your applications, you'll see listed there, the office, hospital, nursing homes, hotel, industrials, and school applications for this polystyrene 707 door. The 707, we continue on with the honeycomb core. This is your resin type of paper core. You'll see it available 1.75" only, but you'll see the gauges available from 20 to 16 gauge, the steel types, your sizes, and then your STC with this door is a 32, and we can fire rate this up to 3 hour. Your benefits, again, higher STC than a urethane core and your competitive pricing on the Honeycomb Core, along with your different applications for the Honeycomb Core.
Rose?
Yes.
If I'm not worried about insulating value, but I'm wanting to put this in an exterior opening, would this make sense to use as an exterior application?
You can, but you want to know that even though we have this door with, it's a resin type of core, so it does help against if you have moisture, water seep into there, the possibility of moisture getting in. I would personally would say with this door, I use it for interior. It can be used exterior, but you want to also remember you want to make sure you have an overhang over this door. If it's out swinging, you want to have a flush top cap on the door. Pat, did I answer that question? I know you were throwing me a curve on that.
Yeah, I did. I was driving that bus, Rose. What I was actually talking about, and that's exactly what I wanted to say, is that this is not necessarily a great exterior application. And the reason that Curries brought this up forever, Curries' standard core has been the polystyrene with with an extra for the polyurethane. But in recent years, and I'm talking probably in the last 10 years, we've added the Honeycomb Core as an available product, only as from the standpoint that there was a lot of competitors out there that were had this particular core available, and we needed to in some cases use this to meet specification. If you actually pull your price book down and start looking at the Honeycomb Core, you're going to find that by the time you add the top cap and everything else, it's probably more expensive than the 707 with the polystyrene core. So be careful if you're looking at trying to save some money, you're probably not going to do that with this Honeycomb Core.
Right, because of with the core type and being exterior application, you do have to do additional things to it. Thank you, Pat. This 707 polyurethane core, slab core, you'll see the gauges available. Again, look at the sizes. The one thing, and it says it's available from 2.0 to 6.8, 5.0 to 10.0. I just want to caution you, as you look at the price book, anything that's over 4 foot wide, we make that as a still stiffened product, so be aware of that. You'll see the calculated versus the operable calculations that are done. And the 707 polyurethane core, it tells you what it's tested at there with the thermal, the R factor, but this is with it, what we call MTB is your Mercury thermal break frame. When we get into the sustainability section, I'll show you some charts that may be of use to you. But with that said, a standard off-the-shelf polyurethane core door is going to have an STC of 29. You increase that STC rating of all of these doors by the seals and everything else that you add to this in the frame, you add to this door. You can get this door fire rated up to 3 hour also. And here again, your benefits to the polyurethane core: energy efficient, excellent insulating characteristics. If someone asks you what is the highest insulated type of door that we have, it will be your polyurethane core door. And your applications there, you'll see most common for your urethane core doors, your hospital, nursing homes, and school entrance and school restrooms and so forth. The temperature rise door, the 250 temperature rise door, is our 727 mineral fiberboard core. This is a product where the most common applications you will see in stairwell applications, and the testing is for the first 30 minutes of fire exposure to one side of the door. The other side of the door will not exceed 250 degrees. The critical time in a building with a fire is that first 30 minutes to get people down the stairs and out to safety. So with that, we have to have a mineral fiberboard core in this. With that, you'll have it is available from 14 down to 18 gauge. Notice the sizes on this: 4.0, 8.0, where we saw in the urethane and the styrene up to 10 foot. Again, not all doors will have all of the same sizes available. And this fire rate of 3 hour and 250 temporized. Your benefits, again, designed for specific openings, such as I talked about your stairwells. If you have any place where the temperature rise requirements are listed, this is the type of door that you're looking for, the 250. And then applications there. And one thing, chemical storage areas, you will see this door listed. You will also see it anywhere where there's a combustible material, chemical store area, things like that. You will see areas like that. You will see this door specified. With that, we have the 747 still stiffened door, but you will also notice we talk about the 747 450 temporized still stiffened door. If a customer is asking for a 450 temporized door, please note that it will be a still stiffened door. The 250 is a one-piece core. So with the 450 temporized door, and it being still stiffened core, you will notice that you may see spot wall marks on the face of the door, because we take those 22 gauge metal stiffeners, weld them to the inside face of the door about 6 inches apart on center, and then we pack the voids full of insulation. A great door, heavy duty door, the still stiffened door is going to be the type of door that it takes a lot of abuse. You do not want to put it in an application where aesthetics is a primary function of this opening, because with the way this door is built, and we've gotten better as an industry overall making this door, but you will at some point see some spot wall marks on the face of the door. So you'll notice the different sizes that are available. You'll notice the STC from a 38 up to a 43. And also with this being a 3-hour fire rated opening, you can have the 450 temporized door is available only in an hour and a half. So do be aware of that. Benefits, again, severe traffic, abuse and use is what you use the still stiffened product for, and then you'll see the applications listed. The trio door, we have a trio and we have a trio E. So we're going to talk about the trio door here first. This is a laminate still stiffened core. So the way we make this door is we take those stiffeners and we weld it to a subsheet or additional piece of steel. And then we put it inside the door, and the space between the stiffeners, we pack that full of insulation. So if you were looking for a door where it is going to be in a high use, high abuse area, but they wanted to have some type of high gloss finish paint on it, this is the type of door that you would want to suggest. Because again, we're welding those stiffeners to a subsheet and then we're putting it inside the door. You do not have spot wall marks on the face of the door. You will see the gauges that are available, the steel that we have from cold roll to G90, and then the sizes that are available. This door has an STC rating of a 38, and it can be fire rated up to 3 hour. Here are your benefits for your trio, or you call it the 777 that I've talked about, and the applications. When we get into high security doors, we have two different types. We have the 847, which is our 1.75" high security door. You'll see that it is a still stiffened product that we packed the voids full of insulation there. 14 gauge is still available for this type of high security door. You can get it rated up to 3 hour on this high security. Your benefits, again, it's going to handle the stress, the use, especially like in school applications. And then here you'll see the various places where you see it commonly specified. And then you get in, so we have the 1.75" high security. We also have the 857, which is your 2-inch high security. The way we beef this door up is we take those stiffeners and we place them 4 inches apart instead of standard still stiffened doors that are 6 inches apart. So therefore, on the width of the door, you're going to have more stiffeners in that door, which helps beefing that door up for your high security application. 14 gauge only. You'll see the steel types available, the sizes that are available, and the fire rating that we have for this 2-inch thick high security door. Again, types of doors where you even want more security, bank vault areas, you'll see these types of products specified. We have the BH, which is our patient room access door. With this, as I said, is intended to have the authorized person have access to that room in case of emergency. So say you have someone in that room, whether it's a de-escalation room, a holding area, a psychiatric facility that has one of these areas, these rooms in their facility. You have someone inside that room, they barricade themselves in. With this type of door, you have the smaller door, which we call the Wicket Door. So you have access to it from the corridor side. The caregiver can open that door and step through the main door without opening the full-size door. This door, this assembly comes with the continuous hinge. It comes with both doors. So if you look in your price book, you'll see it will say price, give a base price of a door, and then you have a nice hefty ad to make it a BH door. So again, the products and the hardware that are on this product are designed to not have someone to be able to harm or hurt themselves with this type of opening. So the benefits there, you'll see here, the security and dependability for these different types of healthcare facilities and different types of environments, and the applications that we talked about for these correctional facilities, de-escalation rooms, as we talked about. You will see this product specified. The 767 is our stile and rail door. This is a tubular stile and rail door. This is a type of product where you will see this specified. If someone comes into your distributorship and say, I want a full glass door, this is not the type of door that they're looking for. This door is a very strong, sturdy type of door. You see it on exterior applications. A lot of times you'll see, as the detail shows there, it's a full glass. And a lot of times they may want it to look like an aluminum, so they'll specify, the architect will specify narrow stiles and rails. And we can also do that, we can do that too to simulate an aluminum, but you have the strength of this being 16 gauge, you have the strength of it being a tubular stile and rail type of construction. Galvanized is an option also. You can get this with full glass, half glass, different types of options available there. But you'll see that it is a different design. Even the glazing or the glass stop in this is totally different than our standard types of doors that we have available. The benefits, again, we talked about with it being a tubular stile and rail construction, but also you have a strength to this type of door. The other thing that we do with this construction of this door, we take the corners and we miter this, and this door is put together in pieces, and we weld those miter corners to give it additional strength. And then you'll see the applications for this 767 stile and rail door. Then we'll get into the sustainable solutions. With that, also with all new products and existing products, we go through all of these sustainable solutions. With energy efficient, we will talk about the Trio E and the Mercury and the curved frames are coming up here. Also indoor air quality, Green Guard Gold certified. We want to make sure our products are not emitting any kind of gas or odor or anything like that. Daylighting, we want to make sure our doors and frames can accommodate different type of glazing. You're in a room or an office setting. If you have natural light coming in, study shows you feel better, you work better. So we want to make sure that our products can accommodate that. The transparency, we want to be as transparent as possible, so we adhere to a lot of these different types of declarations and different types of labels that we'll be showing you here shortly. This is a very good chart. I wanted to put this in when we talked about the U factor, the R value, what the differences are. If you go to the Curries website under the Sustainable Solution tab, it is a wealth of information there for you. If you're like me, I get sometimes on the U factor and the R value, I have to stop and really think about, okay, what are the differences with that? This this tells you that, and then also the great thing about this chart, and you'll see I did a snippet of it here, is that you can go in and see the series of door, the type of frame, whether it's a Mercury, curved, or a standard frame, and what is the U factor and R value that you get with the combination of the door and the frame. An excellent chart that you want to, again, go back and reference to when you're looking at specification and they're talking about the various R values or the U factor. You can see what type of products we have already tested and be aware if it's operable or if it's calculated. We talk about a couple different types of sustainable solutions also. Get into your HPD, your EPD. The one thing I like is the declared label. With this, it shows you the product, the Curry's products, location, final assembly. Then it goes through just a laundry list of everything that it took to make that polyurethane door. So again, these are things that we do with all of our products. And you will be able to see all of these sustainable solutions on our website. Curry's has a very good information about all of these different solutions that you can pick from. With that, we have within that sustainable solution, we have the Trio E. The Trio E, the E is for energy efficient. So it's a bit different than the Trio door in this respect. We pump this door full of liquid urethane. Where on the Trio door, we have the stiffeners that were welded to a subsheet and we put in the door. And then in between those voids, we pack it full of insulation. With the Trio E door, we take those stiffeners, but they're cut back just a bit. We weld it to a subsheet, and then we place it inside the door, and we pump it full of liquid polyurethane. So the E is for your energy efficient, becomes a highly energy efficient product. You'll see that the gauges that are available, the sizes, the STC is a 30 on the Trio E and rated up to 3 hours. Here you'll see the benefits of the Trio E type of product that we have. And as far as I know, and Pat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but to date, we are the only manufacturers that make this type of product.
That is correct, Rose. And I think it's also important. I've had in the past trouble myself keeping it straight in my mind. Is there a difference between the Trio and the Trio E door? And there is definitely a difference. So if you've got a project where they've called out the Trio door and you have the option of using either, please, if it's interior, take a look at the Trio door. It's going to save you a little bit of money and may mean the difference between you securing that project and not securing that project. But the Trio E works really well for an exterior application. As you see, we have a 3.4 operable R factor on this particular opening. That's pretty strong and powerful. And the beauty of it is it because of the design of the door, not only do you have the urethane core in there and the way we hold the stiffeners back, it develops its own internal thermal break. So it definitely helps, not only in heating, loss of heat in a cool environment, but also loss of air-conditioned air in a warm environment. So it's beneficial in both directions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pat. The Mercury door system, this is a system we have with the Mercury door and the thermal break Mercury frame. The door, we have a patent pending on this process. We actually put rods inside the door. We weld it at the top and bottom, and then we pump it full of urethane. So you're like, well, why do you have two energy efficient types of products? The Mercury door system is going to allow you to get about 10% lower in cost for your energy efficient solution. So if you were looking at the Trio E, and you go through and they start, the job starts saying, well, we've got a VE something, or we need to cut cost on this. Don't forget that we have the Mercury door system, and we do have, it is about a 10% lower price point on this type of opening. So, and then also you'll see the applications there. And again, we have a patent pending on this process, and it is a thermal break frame that we have. We supply it. It's a two-piece. We have some sort of solution in between the pieces, and then also we supply the stick-on weather strip for the Mercury system. We do have two types of Mercury thermal break frames. Please always go to the Mercury frame. This is less expensive. The lead time is quite a bit less. We keep the old style because when we developed the Mercury frame, we had both of them in the market. We decided that we were going to eliminate the old style, and we had a lot of customers that said, please at least keep this product available for our needs. So we do have two types, but you always want to try to go to the Mercury frame. All of the ASTM standards and documents and everything else that we comply with, the ANSI, where you see there for physical endurance, are both the same for both frames, except for the old style, it's going to be a lot longer lead time. The other type of frame that we have in a sustainable solution type of application you'll see is the curved frame. This to me is a really nice frame. You'll see that we have a indentation in the stop. We supply it with that weather strip. So unlike the stick-on type of weather strip, if it gets damaged, you got to try to peel it off the frame. This you can just slide out of the pocket, reorder the weather strip, and slide it back in into the pocket. Decorative solutions, we have what we call our high def embossed doors. You'll see as the details over there show you on the right side, we've got 6 and 8 panels. We have 1 panel and we have 2 panel. These are going to be your high definition design types of products. So you get into your nicer office buildings, your high-end condos, things like that, where they want a nice looking embossed door. This is the type of door that you will most likely see specified. It can be fire rated up to 3 hours. You'll see the STC up to a 48, which is really great because a lot of times now we're seeing more and more office settings and things like that, that they want that nice look, but they also need to have some sort of STC rating, a higher STC rating for these types of doors. So you will see there the benefits of this. Again, an alternate solution to your style and rail wood doors. And also you'll see the applications there for the high def embossed doors. This by far is probably my most favorite door. This is the Curry Stain wood grain door. The steel comes into us already etched. The beauty of this door is the etchings go the correct direction, as you see the picture there. So it mimics a wood style and rail door. But in those applications where they want a 3-hour rating for this door, or it's going to be an extra application, your wood doors cannot match that. So we have the Curry Stain door. We have 6 standard colors. We can match pretty much anything. I think to date we've done about 2,900 different types of colors matching with this type of product. So again, fire rated up to 3 hour. Once we do a hand stain on this door, and then we apply a clear UV top coat on this door. We have factory installed glazing that is available, again, for the various types of glass that we can install. Please look at our tech data. This is showing you the Curry standard pre-finished colors. Again, we can pretty much match anything, but they're on the website. You can actually see this color chart, and these are our standard 24 standard pre-finished colors. But again, we can match anything as long as we have a sample. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Pat. He's going to kind of walk you through the hurricane, tornado, right door, right slide, and then we will have a few minutes for any questions or answers.
Thank you, Rose. Just real quick, we want to make sure that everybody knows that from both Curries and from Curries, we can provide you with your hurricane resistance requirements. We have capabilities from 2.8 to 6.8 all the way up to 8.0 pairs. Core construction, we run the full gamut from polystyrene, urethane, and honeycomb core. We can also do the temporized and steel stiffened. Lots of glazing options and side lights and transoms, and we are third-party tested and certified. Moving to tornado resistive, Assablo offers, again, a complete line of tornado resistive shelter type FEMA and 500 series opening solutions, sizes up to 4080, 8080 pairs. We can do single and paired openings within the polystyrene and the honeycomb core. Design pressures up to plus or minus 284 degrees. I'm sorry, 284 PSF. We have the optional ability to do also a 10 by 10 factory installed glazing with a 90-minute fire rating.
All right, thank you, Pat. With that then, we'll jump into specialty products. And again, this is just going to be an overview. Probably some of you have already gone into, have attended webinars that did a deep dive into some of these specialty products, but we just wanted to give you an overview of what we have. With our specialty products, we have a division of people that are that do nothing but work on specialty, all of these specialty products that I'm going to show you. They can take a look at your specification to interpret your specification for you. They will also do your submittal package. We will need a letter of intent or purchase order, but they will do the submittal packages for you at no charge. Again, if you're not familiar or you're not comfortable with looking or interpreting the spec for these products that I'm going to show you, let us do that. Let us do the heavy lift for you and give you back a quote that covers everything in the spec. So under the specialty products, we have bullet, we have blast, RF shielded openings, acoustical, stainless steel enforced entry. If you go to the Curries website on the forced entry, take a look at the video that we have listed there that shows you the testing that we did to get a forced entry bullet resistant product. This is a level 8 bullet resistant. It is a 3-point exit device on 3-point locking device on this opening. We have attack resistance, where you'll see a lot of times in schools, flood resistant. With the flood resistant product, you do want to be aware that it is a 4-sided frame. So if you have ADA compliant that you're looking at, this is, you're going to have this is 4-sided, so that does not comply with that. Lead line products we have, our brochure online. You can download it in a PDF format. Shows that we can go up to a 1/4-inch lead thickness. We have done 1-inch lead line products. With that said, all of these different types of products, and we get into the water resistant, with these products, we have what we call hybrids. So if you needed, say, an RF shielded opening and an STC 48, we can combine those and give that product to you. If you look at our website, you won't see that listed anywhere, but please send that into our specialty or into your DSS team. They can get you the price on these. And again, it's what we call hybrid. So it's a combination of lead and STC, stainless steel and STC. We can give you a lot of different combinations on specialty products. So with that, we're going to turn it back over to Pat, and this will wind up our presentation. He'll talk a little bit to you, again, a high level on right door and our newest product, which is called the right slide opening.
Yeah, first of all, I do understand, both Rose and I understand that this was a Curry's presentation, but we wanted to definitely mention and let you all know about another series of products that we have by Right Door, both the Right Door product and the Right Slide product. These particular items are great solutions to some applications that you may be running into out there in the marketplace, and Assablo does offer that now through our group. And first of all, the Right Door, or an integrated door system, the idea behind this product is it's a complete solution. It ships to the job site completely with all the hardware installed on it. The idea behind it is to give you a very aesthetically pleasing application. It as Rose is shown here, it gives us a aesthetic benefit, a lot of great designs and options available from that side of it. But it also allows you to set that door so that it is not in the opening, that it can actually be put into a pocket. The exit device, if you have a device on it, can be molded into the door so that it's not protruding out into the opening, and it gives you a very pleasing look. We see this solution used in a lot of different situations, like it may be in theaters, healthcare, education. We see it in cross-corridor applications or into big meeting rooms where you want to get that door out of the way when it's not in use, or in the cross-corridor, you're holding the door open in most situations and you want to just disappear, that you want that opening to be nice and clean. This is where that works. Or in another place that we'll see it quite often is in elevator lobbies, where they have to have the doors have to close in case of a fire, but they're held open in most situations. The other product that we have is our Right Slide. Right Slide is becoming very, very popular, this particular type of application, a sliding door, where a conventional swing door takes up a lot of real estate. And we all know that space is money, and this makes a lot of sense, and it makes us allows us to utilize a lot of that space that is normally taken up in a door swing. What we have here is two different products, a non-acoustical assembly and then an acoustical rated assembly, STC34. This is a new product that we just released. We'll be rolling both we can present both the right door and the right slide to you. The right slide, we're seeing this used in healthcare, offices, education. And either one of these particular product offerings, if you have some interest, please reach out to your DSS rep, and we can give you a deep dive presentation on these particular products. With that, Rose, I conclude my presentation. Since you brought that up, I forgot all about that. Just a nod towards our industrial organization. We mentioned that throughout our presentations. In particular, you see the Steel Door Institute. What a great resource for information. If you haven't visited this website, sdisteeldoor.org, please do. There's a lot of information that when you're looking into a specification and they're calling out stuff by SDI, it'll help you research that and find out the information. It also has a section in there of videos on how to install and the proper way to install particular hollow metal doors and frames. With that, Rose, I believe that is it.
That is it. Thank you so much, Pat. Are there any questions, Pat, that that's popped up in chat?
We had one question pop up. I've already answered that, I believe, and we'll probably get some return information on that in the future.
Great. With that said, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for sitting in on this class, on this session. And again, a high-level overview of Curry's products and what we can offer you. This session will be available to you within about 24 hours. You will also get an email, thank you email from me, verifying that you actually did attend the session. That will be coming out tomorrow to you, so look for that. It will also have the link that you can go in and review or look at this session again online. So with that said, thank you all, and please stay safe. Have a good day.